Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempe emrebi odebe tu jase odi yoku akoniaba debia bet okono in a silence way, not a rambo a style BNI for an as yoku for edebe picking up at the free bets BBBL koso our political highway so unsubscribe ya subscribe na hit on the notification bell send be any update be a dropping or heavy and one so one sa ebetumi akabina busu adan ena koso our political highway so Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempe agana ni bia enim se friend no NAPO abusua sisia eye free wifi mobile ya during NPP tenwa it is a free wifi keys bi buyer abusua ni din na ni din ye involved in it abusua sisia no attorney general wa filing a docket or the nekwa akopie mu e wo court sisia no he is said to appear before court abusua sisia Matthew Opoku Prempe a friend no NAPO Dr. Baumia, the running mate at 2024 general election, or the Nebaya, Abusia Sisiano, Yadene Quaco Pimo Kota, Attorney General, Sisiana Nyabre, I want to see have any Assam Ketwakra into Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempe Fenenapu. According to a year, Felix Ofusukwache, Ocha, ni case no free Wi-Fi case na a war Attorney General, on Sisi Attorney General. Where we case now or the nekwa kopimo e wokota and the docket are ready. Mommy yanko na yanko tie ensema eye Felix Fosukwache etuda unsubscribe ya subscribe na hit on the notification bell send be ya any updates be a dropping on onso onsa ebetumi akabi operation recover or loot ora abusuya ora na Ghana for ebi mo ka se ora no atonsum ora no omonye omadwuma ye abusuya ora yimu ena ema yede Matthew Opoku Prempe obi anim no say your friend NAPO no ekwa akopie mu ewo court abusuya na eye auditors general report eno ho nsem ena akwa akototwe sa ensem we nyina aba mom yanko na yenkonkotie ye ba yede de aka aba beto amso medamase.
There's a free Wi-Fi case involving Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempe, and he himself has publicly said that he has been invited, questioned.
Yes.
And a docket has been prepared. Yeah. There's a gentleman called Opioluwa Omotayo Ojo. I suspect that he's Nigerian. Benjamin Kofi Jesse, William Entry Dakun, and Matilda Ewia Azuma. They are the persons of interest in the free Wi-Fi matter. There's a National Lottery Authority case involving Kofi Osameyaw, Henry Kwame Asare Yentumi, and Derek Bisi Apia. There's Buankra Inland Ports involving Kweku Forie Siama, who was a former transport minister, Justice Amu, John Bernard Cranton York, and Michael Achagwe Luguje. Pardon me if I've mispronounced the name. Then the drape case. It's a matter that people have been called on. The likes of Mohammed Amin Andam, the former finance minister, and Irene Nantoshi, the former administrator.
They've been called
and questioned. The former administrator of what call it? This Assembly's Common Fund. There could be 19 Frontiers case. Kwekwa Menu and Samuel Bansa. The Pualugu multipurpose dam. Dr. Owusu Efeyaku, the former Agric minister. Wilson Kwabena Dankwa, I beg your pardon. Al Hassan Alolo Muntaka, I believe he was in the vice president's office. Yes. National ambulance case. Emmanuel Owusu Gwedu.
Okay.
Mathematical set. That's a full expression. Sarah Femi Bedi Etuasante, I believe is the spouse of the president's the former presidential secretary, Mr. Asante Bedi Etu. Kwejo Daku Mensa, Benjamin Kofi Jesse, Philip Tetepadi, and Matthew Opoku Prempe.
This is the mathematical set.
This is a mathematical set issue. The Moshoso rice case, there was an issue about importation of some rice that was not fit for purpose or something. David Eje Mensa, Simon Eje, Eli Kulim Dogbe, and Patrick Ohini Ufori. Then there's a duplicative digitalization, which is Ghana Health Service and National Health Insurance Authority, Dr. Patrick Kumabwaji. West Blue Judgment Debt. It involves Kenoforiata, who, as I speak, is a fugitive, has fled the jurisdiction. And then there's a 13th African Games. I could go on and on and on and on. So anybody who comes to tell, for instance, they've been called, interrogated, and these are cases on which dockets have been prepared. And so the attorney general has to look through it and then determine a date that is suitable to go to court. If you go to Yoko, there are some of the cases that were not part of oral. You can only discover them when you come into government, like the National Signals Bureau thing. It was never an oral. In fact, there were many people who didn't even know Mr. Dubois was even a public official. But when we came to power and we got wind of it, we looked into it. Indeed, he was arrested in March 2025. By April, he was in court. The Attorney General has said that he will call 5 witnesses. Three of them are done. He's left with 2. so that they can conclude their case, and then Mr. Dubois will open their case. That is the normal judicial process. My brother, Honorable Apiakubi, is here. He is a lawyer for Wuntumi, and he will testify that in the case of Wuntumi, actually, I think they've done, you are supposed to do a establishment of no case or something, if I'm not mistaken. All the state's witnesses have testified. So the state has made its case. The onus is now on them to either contest the state case through a establishment of no case. Which is normal. In the 214 case, he made a establishment of no case. So it is normal judicial procedure. The national service case, sorry, that one too, I told you that they are doing case management. It's part of the buffer stock case. There are at least 3 people who are in court over it. Addo Hanan and his wife, and then I think another individual. What do you call it? So the Attorney General has gone step by step to ensure that this is done. Again, in terms of recovery, when the president said Yoko had recovered 600 million Ghana cedis, there were those who said, we should publish the list. I clarified that apart from oral, Yoko is an established organization that deals with regular crime, money laundering, tax evasion, carjacking, cross-border crime, and all that. So in their normal routine course of work, they've done 642 million Ghana cedis recovery. In 2024, they did 186 million recovery. So this one actually is an improvement on that. But in terms of oral, the only time, again, there are 2 lawyers here who will bear me out. The only time you can recover is when the person has been convicted. What you can do in the interim is that you freeze the assets to protect it, so that in the event that in the course of the trial, they don't divert it and move it outside of the jurisdiction. Indeed,
that is why I asked you that question, whether you have the power to convict. And I'm saying
the court, yes, the court, when the court convicts.
Your mandate
is prosecution. That's all. And that is what we are doing.
Yes.
But I'm telling you what steps have been. Every case that has been investigated or is in court, they have taken steps to ring fence the assets. Indeed, there have been instances where some of those whose assets have been frozen have contested. They've said that the assets don't belong to them, and therefore the state cannot purport. They are allowed to do so. It's part of the judicial process. Everybody accused must be given sufficient opportunity to defend themselves. In the case of lawyer Piakubi's client, Wuntumi, he would tell you his assets have been frozen.
How much of his assets?
Indeed, I regret to have to. Sorry about it, but
no, the matter is still subjudice. The matter is still subjudice.
Fine.
No, you are allowed to mention those facts.
So he has. Look, we discovered for instance. No, it's not about.
Please go ahead.
I'm not. Let me also make it clear. I'm not pronouncing.
No, I'm not saying.
I'm not pronouncing on the substantive case. I'm only telling you the facts. I'm telling you the action that the state has taken. So, for instance, on the 8th of January, 2025. It was found that about 50 million Ghana cedis had been paid him from Cocoa Board.
Yeah.
Cocoa Board
For some work that he said to have done. He moved 30 million of that to purchase some securities. In other words, bonds, right? I think treasury bills. And then about 23 million to purchase or set up an insurance company.
Amen.
When was this?
This was in January, February.
Last year.
Yes. So all these assets have been frozen as I speak. Indeed, again, look, even his mobile money account has been frozen.
Chairman won't
yes.
mobile money account.
Even his mobile money account has been frozen. Unless he sets up another one or use another conduit, he cannot use mobile money, receive or send. So that is the extent to which the state has gone to ring fence these assets, pending the determination of the case. How can anybody see this and say oral has died? The other issue too is that it is important to do thorough investigations. The reason being that it costs money to prosecute people. There may be cases where you suspect strongly that wrongdoing has occurred, but you may not find the evidence. Yeah. In that case, you don't go at all. You suspect strongly that there must be some wrongdoing, but either the evidence has been so well concealed, or that the information available is sketchy and scanty, so you can't go to court with it. In that case, even if you have that suspicion, you cannot go, because it costs money, it costs time to prosecute people. It is state resources that are used to do the prosecution. So if you are not absolutely certain, you cannot go there and waste anybody's time. So it is not fair to say that oral has not died. And if those who are most affected by oral, MPP appointees, are saying that it has died, you must understand the political context which they are saying so. So I implore Ghanaians to support the effort to sanitize the system by holding people who are believed to have offended the state through corruption to account. And then more importantly, put in the system going forward to ensure that this sort of thing does not recur. That for me is where the conversation should be going. But let's talk about 21. So if 21 billion has not recovered, it has not been recovered, then all aspects. That is not
because you have an expectation of oral.
Sure.
And yet you are having to deal with the weaknesses in the judicial system.
You see, again, there are two strands.
You
see, there are two strands. We must be careful. You see, we must be careful not to allow governments to overreach. So that interfere in the judiciary. Look, one of the criticisms that we leveled against the MPP was that they were interfering with the judiciary. And I'm sure Professor Adman Bafwajimandia has had occasion as an analyst, a respected analyst, to comment on these matters many, many times because the media would reach him for comment. We have said that. I personally have gone on public record to criticize judicial performance and accuse the MPP of tinkering with the judiciary for some outcomes. We cannot come to power.
Well, you've done same.
No. Listen, even the judiciary are not beyond reproach. They are not beyond accountability. So if it is found that the Chief Justice has done things that offend the law and the process is undertaken through constitutional... I beg your pardon. Please. When you sack Charlotte say nobody has you what things. So you cannot come here and purport. You cannot mount the moral high ground. You cannot mount the moral high ground. Charlotte say was a constitutionally... Charlotte say was the head of a constitutional body. They were an independent body. Yet you removed her.
Even the cases are not even of the same standard.
Why does it have to be of the same standard? What are you talking about? What are you also talking about? You have the right.
Transfer somebody.
I beg your pardon. No. I'm saying that.
I travel over 100,000 of our money.
Let me make a point. I'm saying that you, Kofi, and the MPP, you, Kofi, and 100,000 a year cannot be the determinants of what you constitute somebody's removal. You removed Charlotte Osei. We disagreed vehemently. People even went to court, yet you removed her. So if the Chief Justice of Ghana is deemed to have offended the law and the Constitution is followed to remove her, it is in order. That does not mean that you have tinkered with the judiciary. When you remove Charlotte Osei, you did tinker with the Electoral Commission. Is that what you did? So the mere removal of the head does not mean that the judiciary is no longer independent. Indeed, since the new Chief Justice was installed, has the NDC not lost major cases in court? Under you, I beg your pardon. You, in your time, even the mere announcement of a panel told everybody how the case will go. Look, let me give you a typical example. Let me give you a typical example. You see, by stroke of a pen of the Attorney General writing an application to the court, the panel can be changed. We were told, for instance, there was an instance in this country where a judge held Kennedy Japon in contempt for something that he said. Okay? Kennedy Japon went to complain that the judge is the one against whom he made the statement. And therefore, if he appeared before him, there was likelihood of bias. The judge was changed, was he not?
Yeah.
Yet when the former Supreme Court judge, Honyonuga, if I'm not mistaken, went to make politically motivated statements in the Volta region, and Opuni complained, he was still made to sit on the case until he went on retirement. The judge who came and said that he was going to start the case anew, within a month he was transferred. You understand the point I'm making? So the MPP cannot be lecturing anybody. No problem. But I did that to straighten the record. That their pension, I beg your pardon. No problem. But the point I'm actually defending the judiciary here. I am saying that yes, you are the ones who think that what do you call it? You determine for us what is right, what is wrong. I'm saying that we won't have any of it. The point is this: the judiciary.
It was a personal contribution to the discussion.
So I've made no. The point I'm making is that we cannot say that because we are unhappy about the way the judiciary operates, we should tinker with it.
I think that's
it is an independent institution. That is why when the president had concerns about the slow pace of action on Auditor General's report, what he did was to invite the Chief Justice, the Auditor General, the Attorney General to a meeting to discuss what can be done to hasten the process. Then the Chief Justice said that they can do ABC. Indeed, if I'm not mistaken, he has done that. He has set up a special court to try Galamsey cases and all that. So that is how you do it. But government cannot on its own insist that we don't like the approach of the judiciary. So we have sacked every judge, or we have abolished courts, or we have introduced new courts. That cannot be done. But oral can never be said to have died, simply because those against whom it was set up are saying that it has died. They are not the ones who determine it. Let the facts speak. Again, people are even saying that after 1 year there's no prosecution.
Is that not enough?
When the facts show that that is not the case, there is prosecution, and more prosecutions are going to follow.
Yes.
No, but conviction is determined by the courts.
Yes.
And as Honorable Apiakubi has been at pains to say all morning, our remit ends with prosecution. That is what we have done. It is for the court to determine whether the case we have made can master scrutiny, or that the defenses provided by the accused are sufficient to free them.
There's
That
a
is all
question in this regard
yes,
that if the right of conviction ends with the courts, then why were some persons described as candidates for jail?
Why?
By some persons.
Alfred, would it be the first time? Let
Yes.
me tell you something. Alfred Woyumi, an auditor general did a report, and then I think it was Kennedy Japan who found that his name had been mentioned in respect of some judgmental payments. The MPP composed songs. Okay, they started for 1.5 years. Every day after Woyumi was the subject of discussion on TV. They did not compose songs. Why? Would it be the first time that politicians have been accused?
Okay, no.
Would it be the first time in our history that politicians have been accused of corruption and they have been dragged? Why? President Mahama, did the MPP not claim that he had built hotels in Dubai? Did they not call him names in respect of Airbus? What were the outcomes of those matters? So you see, let the MPP not go about saying that people have said that people are candidates. It is not the first time. But you see, you must separate political claims by political operatives from the word of the leader, from the word of those who actually have responsibility to undertake this matter, this activity. It is the Attorney General. What has the Attorney General said? Sometimes when the Attorney General gives briefings, okay? Sometimes when the Attorney General, sometimes when the Attorney General gives briefings, they say that the Attorney General has convicted people.
Okay.
But we know that the Attorney General doesn't convict people.
Right.
You understand the point I'm making? So the claim that oral has died cannot stand scrutiny.
One lawyer whose client
problem.
is in this matter.
Yes.
I needed you to speak to a number of these issues.
I hear you.
Because and you had great concern about it appears the Auditor General or the Attorney General is under pressure to secure convictions. That's why you are having some accused persons being turned.
Okay, abusuya we ne ensema ekoso ewo political highway so Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh and chese ye de ne ho nsem erebrema enye asem keto krobeda masesama jepene kokoti sa ensem we ere mai eye gossip politics TV so medamase